Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Code Study. Now, very recently, I had demoed a tutorial on how you can use Google AI tools, which are completely free till a certain limit. And one tool that I discussed was how you can generate AI videos using Google VO models and Google Flow. Now, there was a small problem with that part of the video because it was towards the fag end and I had a lot of other tools to discuss. I went over it a little bit fast. But more importantly, there was a second issue. And that is essentially that when you use Google Flow, which is a tool whereby you can create a scene, and the scene is nothing but a collection of videos, 8-second videos actually, because Google only allows you to create a 8-second video correctly, which is not much if you think about it. But it has given you an option of creating a scene whereby you can collate these 8-second videos, different 8-second videos together to form a sequence, right? So you can build a beautiful video out of this. But the issue with that is the AI tool does not remember or has no idea of the previous video that it generated, right? So it's not like your chat tool whereby you ask it one question, and then if you ask a subsequent question, it remembers what you asked previously and corresponds in that context. The video generator AI tool has no context essentially. So essentially what happens is you lose character consistency, which is not good, isn't it? So essentially, if you have a set of characters in your first video and you want to create a second 8-second video with those same characters, they might and will probably look completely different unless you do something very specific. This video is essentially about how you maintain that consistency among your video subjects. So let's see how to do that. So the first thing that you need to do is to go to labs.google, right? So this essentially is a platform whereby you have all your image and video enhancing tools together in a single place, in a single portal there. So you have your Whisk, which we will be using to generate some reference images, which I'll discuss in a minute. And then you have your Flow. Click on Flow. They'll ask you to sign in with your account. So do that. And this will bring you to your Flow dashboard here. And as you can see, I'm on the Pro tier. But if you're on the free tier, almost 90% of the tools is still valid. So it doesn't matter whether you're on the free tier or the paid Pro tier or even the Ultra tier. So whatever I'm going to show here will be valid for your free tier, okay, till a certain limit. So there is a ceiling, but if you're doing this as a hobby or just for entertainment, it's more than enough, right? And on this dashboard, what you can see is your project, your previous projects on the bottom, and an option for creating a new project. But before we go to the new project, I just want to show you something called the Flow TV. It's quite entertaining. And as the name suggests, this is, you can think about it as a TV or a channel which showcases the different creations others have generated using this tool. And it also gives you the prompt which was used to actually generate these videos, which will help you refine your prompt. Okay? But we're not going to use this, so let's go back to create with Flow. Okay, and let me create a new project. As soon as you're on this page, what you will notice is on the left hand side, you can see the project name. If you want, you can change it. By default, it gives you the month, the date, the time on which you're actually creating this. You created this project, right? And then you have your scene builder, which is essentially where you build your scene using one or more videos there. If you scroll down a little bit to the bottom right, you have your prompt here. And in this prompt, you have some options. So the first option that you see, right, towards the right hand side topish corner is VO 3.1 fast. Now this is the model that video model that is being used by default. It might be different in your case. Okay, so if you can change it, so if you click on it, it actually pops out a window from where you can change the model that you want. For our purposes, VO 3.1 fast is more than enough. Just ensure that whatever model that you're using has audio enabled, because there are models. So when I actually checked it yesterday, there was a model which did not support audio. Today, I can't see anything that doesn't support audio. So everything has audio enabled. And Google has this habit. It keeps changing its layout quite frequently. So what you see here is as things are on October 19th of 2025. And I am demoing this from India. So if you're from a different region and if you're from a future date, what you might be seeing is completely different. But hopefully it will be intuitive enough. Okay, so you can find your way around. So I'm just using 3.1 fast. If you're using quality, your credits will be eaten up sooner, because it will, because quality essentially means it's pricier, right? So we don't need that much a pricier option. Fast is more than enough for what we are trying to do. And the aspect ratio, I'll keep it as landscape 16.9. If you want, you can go for portrait, your choice. Outputs per prompt. Right? This essentially means how many videos you want generated from a single prompt. So if I'm going to keep it at 2, ideally, I would prefer 4, right? Because if you have 4 videos generated, the chances that you like at least one of them is higher, rather than you having to refine a prompt and generate the videos again. But the obvious drawback to it is that it will eat up your credits pretty fast, because at each single prompt, it's going to generate 4 videos. And say your one prompt costs 20 credits, one video, sorry, costs 20 credits, your one prompt will actually eat up 80 credits, because it generates 4 video outputs, right? So we're just going to go with 2. You might just want to go with 1 if your credit is quite low. But for a free tier, I think 2 is fine. It should be fine. Okay. Right. Now we can see, right? So this actually uses 20 credits. And just so that you understand about how the credits change, if I use something like quality, right? You can see that each video generation uses 100 credits, which is 5 times more than the normal video 3.1 fast model. Right? So it's quite expensive if you use the quality, but if you have enough credits, go for quality. If not, VO 3.1 fast is more than enough, more than sufficient. The next option that you can see is something that we can use to generate the videos, right? So text to video, as the name suggests, this option essentially is you put in a prompt, it will generate the video based on your prompt. Frames to video is whereby you can give it a, say, a frame. So you can give it a picture, right? You can give it a photo, and it will generate the video in that context. So it will use the subjects, the elements in that picture and frame, and it will generate the video out of that, right? You can see, you can add one, or you can add a starting frame and an ending frame if you want it. So the 8-second video will be generated using that starting frame and that ending frame. Quite a useful tool. And this is what we'll be using, though without the ending frame. We'll just be using the starting frame. You can play around. You will understand how to create the starting and ending frame by the end of this video. Ingredients to video. Now this option is not available in the free tier, but essentially what it does is it allows you to add multiple references, texts, images to generate a single 8-second video. So you can say, for example, add up to 3 pictures and then create a single video out of it. So you can see this option of adding three references there, right? But since this is not available on the free tier, we will not be using it. But essentially it works just the same as the frames to video, but essentially you can add, give it more frames or references, right? That's only different. So this is the option that we will be using. This into two means it generates two output references, and this abacus symbol on the right hand side, this is something about the configuration which we already went through, but whether which model you want to use, how many outputs you want, which is a model, right? So if you click on it again, it just disappears. Now let me just demo what I meant by the continuity or the context problem towards the beginning of this video, and why it is such a headache. So let me try to demo that. So let me just select text to video, right? And just let me give this prompt. Okay, don't worry about the actual prompt because you can easily expand these prompts using any. So for example, this is something I've just given the context to Gemini, and it expanded my prompt. I just said that I want to use it to create videos in Scene Builder, right? And it expanded the prompt. I gave it a very basic prompt in Gemini. I just said that I wanted a video of Batman looking down at Gotham from atop a gargoyle, which is on top of a building. And it has expanded it beautifully. So it says cinematic, highly detailed video. Batman is perched atop a gothic stone gargoyle on the corner of an extremely tall skyscraper. He's a dark silhouette, standing tall, looking down over the sprawling neon-lit metropolis of Gotham City at night. Heavy atmospheric rain is falling, reflecting the city lights on the wet stone. The camera slowly zooms out, revealing the dramatic scale of the city below. Dark blue, purple, and yellow color palette, 4K professional studio quality, right? So this is what it says. If you wanted, yeah, you could expand it further. So you have an option whereby the AI tool within Scene Builder would actually expand this further, but I'm not going to do that. Can play around with later. So I'm just going to generate the video out of this. Okay. And as I've used as in the configuration, I have mentioned two outputs, so it will generate two different videos. Let me just pause the video and I'll come back once it has generated, which should not take more than a minute. Now it has finished generating these videos, and as you can see straight away, right, from even from the preview, you can see that these are different. So exactly the same prompt, but it is different. The buildings in the background look different. Batman himself looks different. So even though my intention was that it generates two different videos, right, from the same prompt, right, but even if I had generated it twice, okay, so if I just given one video output per prompt, generated one video, then if I wanted to create a subsequent scene, okay, with the same character set, and I'd said just zoom out or zoom in, even then it would have generated something like this, whereby the buildings and the background would be different. So essentially it would create a conflict, right? So the continuity in the scenes would not be there. Let me just play this video so that you can appreciate how powerful these tools are. Okay. Very good. Let me see this one. Second one looks much better. But hopefully you got my gist, right? What I was trying to say there. You might get away with some scenes whereby the background looks a little bit different, but imagine you're trying to do this with actual human face, right? And if the face itself changes, you cannot have continuity there. And this is the problem that we are trying to address. How do you get this continuity? How can you give some context reference to the AI video generator model? We'll see how to do that. I'm back on labs.google. Right? So go to this dashboard here and click on Whisk. So I'll launch Whisk here. This is what you'll be using to generate your reference images. And you log in. Okay, don't worry about my sorry, pro tier subscription. Even if you're on the free tier, this should look exactly the same and you should have access to the same tools. So yeah, and enter the tool. I'll just close this, right? And this brings me to the main dashboard. Don't worry about the credits that I have. Okay. Right. And what we'll be doing is we'll be generating an image on what I want to create. Now, I love the poem "The Highwayman" by Alfred Noyes. So if you remember the poem, right? The highwayman came riding, 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 and who was waiting for him? Bess, the landlord's dark-eyed, red-lipped daughter. So a very romantic ballad. Now I'll try to generate some context. I'll try to take something from that poem and try to generate an image here. So this is my prompt. And again, this is all AI generated. So I just given it a very rough context on what I want to generate, context being the highwayman, and Gemini provided me the remaining details. I'll just read it out to you. Okay, a hyper detailed cinematic full body portrait of two figures from Alpha Noises, the highwayman. On the left, the highwayman, a dashing broad shouldered man, his face shadowed by a three cornered hat, clad in a claret velvet coat, breeches of fine deerskin, and high jack boots. His ribbons stream from his long brown hair. He possesses a confident yet slightly haunted expression. On the right, Bess, the landlord's daughter, a beautiful young woman with dark, expressive eyes. Her long black hair braided with a scarlet love knot. She wears a simple but elegant gown, her hands bound, reflecting both her beauty and her tragic predicament. No, I don't want her hands to be bound, okay? Because this is essentially a romantic scene. So I don't want the highwayman to bound her hands. This is not some BSTM sort of stuff that we're trying to do here. Right, let me go on. The scene is lit with dramatic moonlight, steady contrast, evocative of a dark, windswept vineyard at night, and subtle atmospheric details like glinting buckles and the texture of old wood. The lighting emphasizes their iconic features and the love between them, right? I don't want any tension between them, right? Because they are lovers, they're not fighters, warriors. The image should portray, and obviously I can't spell, the couple in a romantic pose with the highwayman stroking Bess's cheeks lovingly. The background should show a full moon with clouds. Now, the reason I went over this prompt from the, and this is an AI generated prompt, is just to emphasize the need for you to review what the AI has generated, right? So, if you just give it a cursory glance, everything might look fine, but actually the AI might have some hallucinations, which is very common. It might show some erroneous text which you might miss if you do not review. And this is more important when you do something like building a product or an app, right? So don't blindly trust the AI. Very, very important that you review what the AI has generated. So always review. Remember that, guys. Okay, now let me try generating this. Okay. Now, before hitting generate, there are a couple of things that I need to do. Okay. So if you click on this settings, just that back the symbol towards the bottom right hand side corner. You click on it, you can see the seed value. It gives higher the value, more variety. Leave it at the default. Turn off the precise reference. Okay. So when you turn this off, this will give Whisk more creative liberty. But we will be using this precise reference setting to generate or context images, but so that for the first time I get a more creative output, sorry. I'll just turn this thing off, okay? So just let me turn this off and I'll hit generate. So let's see how long it takes for it to generate the images. And it's there, right? So you have two images, and straight away you can see both the images are different. If you wanted more images, you just rerun this prompt again, and it will generate a second batch of a couple more images, and you can rerun till you find what your heart desires, right? So since this is a demo, I'll just do with the first two images. I'll just choose the one that I like more. uh, yeah, I think the first one looks better, right? No, actually I'll go with the second one. So just let me select this, okay? If I wanted, I could refine it. So I could for example have something called refine. So if I select this here, right, and I can describe my edit. So I could say for example, turn the highwayman's coat to black instead of velvet, or whatever I wanted. So I think this is fine. So let me just close this here. And now what we'll do is we'll try to create the context for our videos. We'll start that process. Now, before we do that, you might also have noticed you have some option called animate. So you could just directly click this here and it would animate your reference image. I'm not going to go through that. It's quite simple. You just click animate and it generates the animation. Now, since I have liked the second image, I like it a bit more. What I'll do is I'll use this, okay, to set my context for the subsequent video generations. So what I'll do is on the left hand side of Whisk, you'll see this panel. Just expand it, okay, and drag and drop the picture you liked. So it will analyze the image, give it a 10 seconds or so. Good. Make sure that this image is selected. So essentially make sure that the stick is yellowish also. It shows that this image is selected. So you can deselect it if you want. So I want it to be selected. So I've selected it here. And this is my starting frame, okay? Now let me create the second image, which will be generated based on this reference here. And now what I'll do is I'll make sure that the precise reference is turned on, okay? Because I do not want it to be creative and hallucinate and generate a completely different image. I want it to use this image to create the next image that I want, okay? So make sure that the precise reference is turned on. You have selected the image that you want on your left hand side pane and describe what you want your next image to be like. So I'll say Bess has tears in her eyes as she loving as she tears in her eyes, she rests her head on the highwayman's shoulders, okay? In the background, soldiers on horseback can be seen approaching. I'm not going to give a very detailed prompt like I did earlier. This should be enough. Okay, so let me just try generating this, and it will generate the next set of images that we want. And it took hardly 10 seconds, and it has generated the next set of two images for me to choose from. So as usual, if I wanted, I could just refine it, I could change the background, but in the interest of time, I'm not doing that. Let me see which one looks better. Yeah, the first one looks a bit more detailed, right? So there is a bit more detail etched onto at least the highwayman's face and features. So let me select this. And what you'll immediately notice is when these images were generated, the subjects are the same, right? Or almost the same. So it has not hallucinated and generated a completely new set of objects or people here. So it is the same subjects that we gave it as a reference point, but the image has changed. Right? So hopefully you see what I'm trying to do here. I'm using the same subjects that was generated in the first image and used those objects or subjects to generate the second image. So I forced the AI to use that context. So I've set the context reference, and that is what the AI has chosen. So this is my subject, and this is the scene. If I wanted, I could add more here, but I think this is fine. So let me download this picture. So this is what I'll be using, okay, to create the video. Now you could generate more images if you want, and you just click on plus, and then you generate the next image that you want the sequence of your scene to be of, right? But you get the idea. I have two images. These are the two images that I'll be using. I'll be giving the VO model the context on to use these two scenes to generate what I want it to generate. So just let me download this. Yeah, I've downloaded both of this. I'm back on the flow dashboard here. So let me create a new project. Okay, and let me select frames to video option. Okay, and make sure that it's on landscape. I want two outputs. Yeah, how two is fine. And the video model I'll be using is VO 3.1 fast because I don't want my credits to be exhausted. So essentially, yes. And now I will select my images. So I'll give it a reference. So make sure you have selected this frames to video option, and then we'll select the images that we generated using Whisk. So I'll click on the plus symbol here. I will use the upload option, and let me search for my file. So this is where I have I downloaded the images. So let me select the first image. If I want, I could crop it. This looks fine. So I'll just give crop and save. The other images are something that on a similar context that I was just trying out before this demo. So just ignore this. Make sure that you have uploaded the video that, sorry, the image that you have generated. Wait till it uploads. And you can see now it has uploaded, right? If you wanted, you could give it a ending frame, but I'm not going to do that. So I want to generate two different videos and build a scene using those two videos. That is what I want to demo. Now let me give the prompt. Okay, the prompt is quite simple. Okay, the wind can be heard howling. The highwayman gently caresses Bess's cheeks while she beseechingly looks up to him and asks, "Where were you? I have waited so long." The highwayman stares into her eyes lovingly and says, "Not so long as I have yearned to see you." Bess sighs. So this is what I want to generate as the first video of my scene. Let me make sure that I've selected the right things. I want two outputs, and let me hit generate. And we'll wait for the video to be generated. So I'll pause here. It should not take long. So it took around 2 minutes, I think, hardly 2 minutes there. And let's play the videos and see how it actually looks and sounds. Let me play the first video.
Where were you? I have waited so long.
Not as long as I have yearned to see you.
Where were you? I have waited.
Right? Quite good. Let me look at the second video.
Where were you? I have waited so long.
Not as long as I have yearned to see you.
Where were you? I have.
Not as long as I have yearned to see you.
As you
Where
can
were
see,
you?
very dramatic, right? Melodramatic, on the verge of being melodramatic. But if you had, say, generated 4 videos there, you could probably have had a better choice. So there might be another variant where this would have sounded much better. But I like the first one better. I mean, it's a bit more realistic and more natural there. So let me select this and just let me say add to scene. You can download it, by the way, if you wanted, right? So I'm just adding it to the scene. So this is the first video of my scene. Okay. Now let me generate the second video for my scene. And for that, I'll do the same thing. Make sure frames to video is selected. Your model is VO 3.1 fast. Output should be 2. And what I'll do is I need to generate a video with text and frames. So I'll click on this again. I'll upload my second image. Right? So the second image was this one. If I wanted, I could crop it. So remove my video here, and essentially, even if you don't crop it, you have to give the option crop and save. Wait till it is saved here, and then we'll give it the prompt on what we want to do. Okay, so the second image has been saved, right? So this is the image that will be used to generate the second video of this, and the prompt will be using, again, quite simple. Suddenly both of them hear horses' hooves and soldiers appear in the background. Bess lovingly pushes the reluctant to go highway man away from her with a tear in her eye, saying, "Flee, my love." Okay. Quite a simple prompt there. Just use your imagination, guys. Okay, so I'll just click generate, and let's play the waiting game. Now the video has been generated. Since I had generated it from the scene builder, so it automatically selected a video and it just added it to the scene. I can delete it if I wanted. So if I can just click on it and I can remove it. But the easier way to do it would be to go back to my project where I should be able to see all the videos generated, and you can see straight away that it generated 2 videos based on the latest prompt that we are given it and the latest image, the second image that we are given. And this is the one that has automatically been added. So just let me remove it from the scene and just let me play both the videos. So let me play the first one, see how it looks.
Flee, my love. Flee, my love.
Right, let me look at the second one.
Flee, my love. Flee.
The second one looks a bit more realistic, isn't it? Because if you notice on the first one, the highwayman is running towards the soldiers, which is a stupid thing to do if you're trying to get away from them. From this one, at least, the person is running away from the soldiers. But again, best sounds a bit melodramatic, which we can live with, right? So if you had the option, you could generate more videos and maybe best would sound a little more natural. But I think the AI chose wisely when it added this scene, this video to the scene. So I'll just do that. So I'll just add it to the scene and I'll go back to the scene builder. Right, so I have 2 videos now, right? The first one that we generated and the second one. And you can see, If I wanted, I could just play it together in a sequence just to make sure I could change the order. Okay, so I could just rearrange the sequence if I wanted. But since I've done it exactly as I wish to be, and it is in the sequence that I want it to be seen, I'm not going to change the order. What I'll now do is I'll just click on download here, and it will say exporting. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, video has been exported, and I'll click download again. Okay, this will download the video, and it has been downloaded. Let me, so I'm on my downloads folder. Just let me open this, and let's see how
Where
it
were
pans
you?
out.
I have waited so long.
Not as long as I have yearned to see you.
Flee, my love.
Now, we're nearly towards the end of our demo, but before I go, I would also like to show you something which, if you are following my channel, and if you had watched my previous video, you would have seen that I did something on Google AI Studio. So so I took Google AI Studio essentially, and I showed how to build an app, and I showed what you can chat. But there was an option called live streaming. So if you look into Google AI Studio now, you'll see that that live streaming option on the left hand side has disappeared. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, all AI tools and models and all platforms that provide these AI tools are evolving, and it's very rapid. So whatever I demo, right, on a previous date, when you watch it on a future date, things might not be the same. So you might need to do a little bit of research to find where it is actually. So if you're looking into where the streams option went to from my previous video, right, it's still there. Essentially, what they've done is on the chat option, you need to select audio, right? So you need to select audio, and if you select, say, Gemini 2.5 Flash native audio preview, the new one, it takes you to the stream real time, right? I don't find this very intuitive, to be honest, because I think this is a little bit hidden on how you can directly go to stream real time. So if you want to talk, or if you want to share your screen, if you want to share your webcam with the AI model, it's not that intuitive. You have to find your way around. But this is where it is, just in case you are wondering. And with this, we are at the end of this episode here. So hope you really liked and enjoyed this video. As usual, if you liked it, do like, subscribe, and share, and help this community grow. So till we meet again, adios.